You're this nice little Christian mom. You have 2 boys. You now have a 3rd boy, which came along after that season. You run successful businesses. You live in beautiful Orange County. You have a very good marriage. Everything looks great. You're asked to be on the show, and at first you said no. Then you're on the show, and you think to yourself, and you feel like God's telling you, I got to have a message on this show. I'm not going to be on there just to be a little superficial cutie housewife.
It's Channel Mom with Jenny Dean Schmidt. We're here for you.
I'm a leader in my church. I lead a mom's group. I have successful businesses. I love my husband, my family. So I guess a little bit of me was apprehensive and was just, I don't know if I'm cut out for that, and I don't want to be known as a housewife. In my mind, maybe it was a little bit of a negative thing. So I just felt like I was called to do it, and little things in my life. When things happen in your life, maybe you feel like the Lord's touching in your heart. For me, it was like, it was very evident that I was called to be on that show, and I just knew it in my heart that it was something that was prepared in advance for me to do, and I felt confident in that. So a lot of times I had to go back in my journals and read, when I was wondering, why am I in Canada with all these girls that are yelling at each other? I want to be at home with my husband, and my babies. Why am I doing this? But I had my journal with me, and I would go back and read and just kind of knew that I was on a mission, and I was doing it for reasons that were bigger than fame or fortune. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you talk a lot in your book. By the way, we are talking to Lydia McLaughlin, who is the author of a new book, Beyond Orange County, and she was on the Real Housewives of Orange County. And in your book, you talk a lot about the way in which you tried to get through in the middle of all that drama, and in the middle of the wine throwing and people arguing, a stable life in your life in Christ, and in your life following God, and in your life loving your husband and your children and running your businesses. I know you have a successful art studio. You really tried to drive home, hey, look, you don't have to buy into superficial. You got to be all that in a bag of chips and a size 2 to have a grounded life. Shelley, did you have a question?
One is, at any point, did you feel compromised? Were you like, wait a minute, I probably am regretting a decision that I made?
Yes, I think that's life, though. I feel like, my goodness, I grew up in a TV home, and so my family all works in the media in Canada, and so I think I knew a little bit of behind-the-scenes type of stuff, so I could look at it not just as, a reality star or just being on a camera, but kind of trying to see it from how the producer was going to put the scene together, which protected me a lot of times, but also maybe made me a little bit superstitious and super nervous a lot of the times as well, because I knew the power of editing. So I feel like I was set up to fail being a Christian and being openly a Christian, because a couple of the girls had asked me a lot about their faith and where they go to church and things like that, but they weren't openly Christian because they knew if I say I'm a Christian, then anything that I do that's not perfection is going to be I'm a hypocrite. And so, you know that going into it. You know that the producer of the show doesn't like Christians. Openly says, I want to get a Christian on there to show how hypocritical it is. And that's your boss. So
yeah.
I knew that going into it.
Yeah.
And for me, that was exciting. That was, I'm not perfect, and I knew, I was going to walk through grace because of it. And hopefully I did way more good than harm.